There we go. There we go. Okay. Now we're good. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that. Freaking bots. Normally they give us a little more time before they come and. Okay, good. Yep. Just pop out for that. Okay. Man, oh man, oh man. Have you been seeing the left, the liberals have been getting all racist with the motherfucker came around and went to check YouTube. I know, it's funny. He's like, "Oh, well, coast is clear." But it's funny now that the liberals, they're getting all racist now whenever they run into black or brown ICE members or ICE officers, because they're all calling them, Nazis and stuff like that. And then when they get in front of it's crazy, dude. And then when they get in front of a black person, they start calling them house nigger and all this other like crazy. Oh, I'm on YouTube. I gotta be careful. Yeah, but just insanity to their faces. It's it's what I'm saying, man. Like just blasting it, just blasting it. It's crazy, crazy. What's what's been going on? Um, and then of course, the left is all mad because Trump's talking about bringing Christianity back, and he's a fake Christian. We got some clips to get into. Because I love it when people who like aren't Christians and hate Christians try and teach about Christianity. It's one of the most adorable things. One of the most adorable things you're gonna see. But all right, gang, we're a couple minutes in. Let's run this intro and get into it. And YouTube. This is going to be the last time I run that intro with the on kick.com in the back. I just re-edited it. So it's just going to be David Victorian podcast going all the way through. Going all the way through. But yeah, as you were saying, Mitch, I mean, I got them going. I mean, dropping the hard R. I got them going off on brown ice members. I mean, it is something to see. It is something to see. And then, of course, typical Democrat, congressmen and women going from rags to riches overnight. And now it's all getting exposed. Of course, our favorite on CNN, Scott Jennings. We're about to get into some clips of him just decimating. And I know, what's that woman's name? Billie Eilish has been making some rounds because of the foolishness that she spewed at the Scrammys. We'll kind of touch on a little bit of that fallout. I love all the black guys who are for Trump making the reels, mocking the people, just dropping the hard R themselves. It's funny. It is funny. It is funny because it's just like, you know what? You're not going to hold us hostage with that word anymore. It's like we respect the history of it. I'm not saying you need to swing on everybody who drops it on you, but it's good to move on from the chains of of that word. You know what I was you know what I was thinking, and I started to tweet it out, but I just didn't. You know what? Maybe I'll do it in a second here. Um, but I wish that we could just go back to the Modern Warfare 2 lobbies. We don't necessarily have to play Modern Warfare 2, even though arguably it was the best one ever. Um, but just to get that, you have safe space, and that was like a rage space. You know what I mean? And we need that rage space back. We need people to just get in there, say whatever you want, be as racist as you want. Just say whatever you want, especially if you just won or lost. Just go to town. Just go to town like we used to back in the day. And just, enough of this safe space soy boy nonsense. COD 4 and Modern Warfare Lobby is not saying I may or may not have been one of them people. Oh, dude. Uh, and you know how clever I am. That didn't phase me. You knew I knew what to say. I was just like, oh, all right, we're taking it here. Let's do it. This is what I was hoping for. Everything else is just boring. Now we're getting exciting. Yes. I loved it. I loved it when they got racist. 'Cause then it's like, now we can be clever. Now we can be clever. Because they always think it's a checkmate. It's like, oh, once I drop this, it's just like that's just like the nuke word, and it's just like, oh, no, sir, you just opened the floodgates. Now we're about to take a deep dive. But anyway, agreed though. But we need those back. We need those back. We need those back. Absolutely. I did also notice that there was another shooting in Chicago. Looks like a young woman was also in the vehicle. I'm not hearing about a male target who was killed. I'm just hearing about this young black woman who was gunned down with her child in the back seat. No protests. Really? She got shot 20 times? They did some damage. They did some damage. Um which is insane. There's stuff that goes on. Yeah, two. Here. Oh yeah, it looks like three. Yeah, it was three. Two ran up on the car, and then yeah, we got the clips, man. But where's the protests? You guys, yeah, you're right, and yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So I have a question, Mitch. Maybe you can help me with this one. I'm just I got to sip one on these liberals because it's just the nonsense. I wonder which way those guys voted. If they even vote. Where are the protests in the streets for that? We have, and then they get mad because we won't join in on the fight. No, that's our fight. That's the stuff we got to fight. Right, black on black crime is not their motive, but ICE going after illegal criminals. We're gonna flood the streets for that. We're gonna put our lives on the line for that. It's insane, dude. It's insane. It's insane. So we're gonna cover that. Um, a little bit more about what's going on in Minnesota. Here's a funny one. Just throwing some humor in. The thought in itself, it is. It is. Dude, liberals are the most racist. Absolutely. even black liberals, they just, everyone is racist. You missed the last stream, but I was showing Jamel Hill, failed ESPN journalist Jamel Hill, getting up there on CNN talking about um, the only reason why Trump went after Don Lemon is because he's black. And she's, getting up here spewing all this racism, white people, Trump's racist, all that, with this blonde wig on. I called it the Malibu Barbie wig. So it's like you're gonna get on CNN talking about racism while doing everything you can to look like a white woman. Make it make sense. You're sitting here
back and forth. But
with
if we go back and
the Malibu Barbie wig on, talking about racism. It's just like, it's so stupid, man. It's so stupid. Like, what are you doing? Just get off of TV. Get off of TV. Um, let's check out Scott Jennings eviscerating this woman as she tries to lecture us on Christianity in a way. I saw they found Whoopi in the Epstein files. Oh, I mean, I've heard some things about Whoopi over the years. Um, that doesn't shock me. I mean, everyone's in it. Everyone's in it. But you have some people that really weren't a part of it, that just, were at one of the parties. And what's so messed up about it is, I came across one guy who was in one of the photos, and the woman that he was with, her face was redacted out, obviously leading you to believe that maybe that she was a minor, which is like, yo, that's pretty messed up. So then he gets on the podcast and he's like, that wasn't even a minor, that was my fiance at the time. We're not together now, but at the time that was my fiance. And that's the type of stuff that Trump was talking about, as far as, there's a lot of people in those files that are just going to get lumped in with it, and it could potentially ruin their careers, and they weren't even a part of it. But the left is they're just hoping on a prayer. I was getting in a debate all through the night last night with that girl Yolanda, accusing Trump of being and Bill and Hillary are going to testify. Yeah, save their skins. She just, Trump's a pedophile. I'm just like, there's like all the documents of millions of emails. He's completely exonerated. Like, the only time he's been mentioned was either how polite and how he did nothing inappropriate. How polite he was and how he's done nothing inappropriate, or how Epstein couldn't stand him. It's the only things that you're going to find about Trump. And still they're like, he's the pedophile. I'm just like, what proof do you have? Like, what evidence do you have? They're like, well, what evidence do you have that he's not? I was just like, the complete absence of evidence that he is my proof. They want it to be true so bad. And she's like, well, the absence of evidence doesn't mean that the evidence isn't there. And I'm like, so now you're just completely leaning on a hypothetical. I'm like, thank God you didn't create the justice system. Because you so want this man to be guilty of something that even when there's nothing, that even when it's proof that he's not, you're just like, well, there's still a chance. I'm like, I could say the same thing about you. Literally told her this. I was like, I don't know really a damn thing about you, but I'm pretty sure there's no evidence out there proving you to want to diddle kids. But does that mean that since the evidence isn't out there, that there's a chance that you are? Is that what I'm supposed to believe? Even though everything that's just the whole proof, your actions, just the fact that you're not. I'm like, what's to stop someone from just doing that with you? It's like, use your own logic, like and compare it to yourself. Like, don't like. It's like you're so trying to pull stuff out of thin air and lean on hypotheticals. It's insane. It's incredible some of the comments I see online about how people wish that bullet in him and all this kind of crazy stuff. Like, I imagine if I said some crazy stuff like that. Exactly. Well, you see now, the more like famous you are, like you have to watch your mouth now with how you talk about him, because he's finally been like, you know what? I'm suing people for this crap. I'm suing people for this crap. So it's like anybody that says, he's a pedophile, he's in the Epstein, blah, 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 blah. If they say that on camera, on TV, you notice like immediately they're retracting, they're apologizing, or it's being corrected. Like we had Scott Jennings on CNN with that little baby-faced weirdo who was saying all that stuff about him. And then Scott Jennings like, are we really going to let that sit on CNN? You're really just going to let him say that Trump was doing all this and that? And like had to correct it. And then babyface weirdo came out and literally like tweeted out an apology. Like, I was wrong. I'm sorry. So it's like, you guys keep playing these games if you want. Consequences are going to get real serious. And it's like, if he wouldn't be able to sue people for saying it. It's like, that's when I was just like, you know what? I'm sick of like on Facebook with you guys. It's like, if you want to debate me, do it live. Let's do it live. And you can call me an idiot all you want. You can say whatever you want. You can curse. I don't care. But enough of this Facebook back and forth. Let's do it live. You all see my clips. You know I got a mic. You know we can do this. Easy. I can set it up. No problem. No problem. So I don't know why they run. And as soon as I said that, of course, conversation ends. No, not even a response, not even a reply, not even I don't want to waste my time. As soon as it's like, you are completely and utterly clueless. Let's do this live. But I was like, but you won't accept it because you know how it'll go. It was just crickets. Well, that's what I thought. And that's just how I'm going to start handling the Facebook crowd, because it's like, I'm not going to sit here. It is easier behind a keyboard. But I'm like, it's much faster where we're passing each other the mics. So let's just do that. Like this exchange on Facebook is like 6 hours long. We could have did this in 10 minutes. So I'm like, let's just enough. Stop running. You guys like watch everything I post like a hawk, ready to say something. But then when I'm like, get on the mic, let's do it. The only person that was willing to do it was Jimmy. And the only reason why I didn't want to do it with him is because he kept on trying to challenge me to fights. That's the only reason why I blocked him. It's because he would DM me or video call me on Messenger challenging me to fight and like bang on me and stuff. Like, we are too old for this. Drive down here and fight you, and then we both go to jail. Like fight. Like, what is there to gain from this? Just that's what I'm saying. He wasn't all there. That was the only reason why I blocked him. That's the only reason why I blocked him, because it's like, you really want to fight. I'm like, okay, man, bye. Block. I was like, I don't have to deal with you. We're grown. I don't have to deal with you, so I'm not going to deal with you. You can't be civil. You can't have an intellectual conversation. You want to get violent. You can call me all types of stuff, but as soon as I call you stupid, it's, oh, why don't you pull up? And it's like, what, bro? Yeah, weirdo. But all right, let's get to this clip. Listen to this one. This one's a doozy.
Yeah, and when I think about some of what he said there, he talks about himself getting into heaven, maybe, yes, no. And this is a man who has absolutely no qualifications to talk about who's going to heaven. I mean, he's a 34-count convicted felon, someone who's been married and divorced,
Lot of sinners found God, did they not?
liable for sexual assaults.
So as we, I mean, very, very, very strong features. But as we listen to this woman sit here and pull the typical I don't have a clue about Christianity stance when it comes to Trump, and a lot of Christians do this, is they believe that someone has to be perfect, or the president, as a matter of fact, has to be perfect in order to even mention anything about Christianity, has to be a perfect Christian to say anything positive about Christianity. It's like they all try and go to his past, like, yeah, he's done this and he's done this and he's done this. He's no Christian. It's like, oh, really? Where if we shine the light on some of the things that anyone has done in their life, everyone will be asked that question. That's why Scott Jennings, who by his responses I believe to be a Christian, I don't know whether he's a Christian or not, really just kind of like checkmates her, but because she doesn't really know much about Christianity, I don't even think she caught it. So check this out. Let's rewind it a little bit, 10 seconds.
Going to heaven. I mean, he's a 34-count convicted felon, someone who's been married and divorced.
Lot of sinners found God, did they not?
Liable for sexual assaults.
How many perfect people have there ever been?
Here's the thing.
One.
When I think...
Did you catch it? Did you catch it? He asked her, how many perfect people have there ever been? One. Who's that perfect person? Somebody in the chat. Somebody in the chat help me. Who's that? Who's the one perfect person that's ever walked this earth? Never sinned, never did anything wrong. God. And God in the flesh who walked this earth. What was his name? What is his name? Jesus Christ. That is correct. Who is God? The Word of God made flesh. Now, did she catch it? Did she catch it? She didn't catch it, and that's the checkmate. You're sitting here trying to critique this man, saying he has no whatever. He has no justification to be speaking on Christianity. Like, he's such an evil man. How dare he speak on Christianity?
What's top of mind for liable for sexual assaults?
How many perfect people have there ever been?
Here's the thing.
One.
When I think...
She missed it.
What's top of mind for people of good faith right now? It's the nurse and the mom who were executed in the street.
False. Now, we as Christians are not happy. We do not take joy. We do not find joy in the killing of anyone. We do not find joy in YouTube, the unaliving of YouTube, of anyone. Now, we also understand consequences to actions because we're Christians. And you have to be responsible, especially as an adult, for those actions. And unfortunately for them, they made some pretty bad choices. Sinners shall find, they'll try to, and then they, there's only one way to truly find that peace. And you're not going to find it in the world. So this woman is, clearly not familiar. Clearly not familiar. Just probably very basic and generic understanding of Christianity. Oh, and Mitch, your Bible will be on the way soon. I actually got some paperwork on that so I can get online and ordered for you. So expect that. Expect that very, very soon. I think I will get you the tracking information once I get off the stream. Okay, but here we go. Here we go. Let's run this back, or let's see how this ends.
By ICE agents, right? For standing up for their neighbors. There's something deep. It's the nurse and the mom who were executed in the street by ICE agents, right? For standing up for their neighbors.
Now, we talked about this also. Neighbors. What is a neighbor? It's a countryman. Same village. Okay. They try to. We talked about this last time. When they were, the love thy neighbor as you love thyself is like the focal point in Christianity. We were like, no. Don't let them make you fall for that. You can love your neighbor just like you love yourself and still not get into heaven. That's not what it's about. It's about Jesus. So don't let them fool you with that. That is not what the pinnacle of Christianity is about. Christianity is about following Christ, not loving your neighbor. That's a product of following Christ. That is not what it's all about. So don't fall for that. That's not how things go. That's not proper doctrine. So they try and spin it and they try and flip it, but no. It's yes, but no. That's not what we're all focused on here.
There's something deeply religious and in tune with my values in standing up for the most vulnerable. And Donald Trump seems to only ever stand up for himself.
Does that apply to the unborn for you?
Let's be clear. We're not all going to face judgment at heaven's gates, but we will face judgment in this lifetime. Your children.
We will not face judgments at heaven's gates. Then where will we face it? Where do you see? Do you see? Do you see? Where do you face it then? See, they're Bible butchers. They're Christianity butchers. All right, and Jennings destroyed that whole argument with there's only one perfect person, and she didn't catch it. She didn't even catch it. Right over her head. And we're not going to be judged at heaven's gates. That's exactly where you're going to be judged. That's when it's over. That's judgment. That's judgment right there.
Your grandchildren will ask what you did when masked ICE agents invaded our streets, and you need to have an answer in this lifetime. And that's true for the folks at home, too.
Oh, yeah. What did I do when federal law enforcement was going around taking people who broke the law, entering this country illegally? What did I do? Let them do their job. Exactly. See, they're trying to guilt trip you, and I'm just not. I'm not going for it. I'm not going for it. I've said it on my little Facebook debates, and I've said it. I will not turn my back. I will not spit in the face of those who went through the several years long process of becoming a citizen. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it for people who cut in line. I'm not going to do it. And you're not going to guilt trip me into doing it. You're not. You're not. You guys don't get you. That struggle is not an American struggle. They don't even wave American flags as they protest. The stupidity is so beyond the pale. So let me make sure I understand you correctly. And I actually got into not like a debate, but a conversation, a very short conversation. You want to stay here, but you don't raise the banner of where you want to stay. You want to stay here, but you wave other nations' flags. That doesn't make sense. When black people were going through the civil rights movement, we were trying to show just how patriotic we were. We were going to war for this country, going and fighting and dying. We were proud Americans, and we didn't want to leave. We wanted to do everything the right way. We wanted to vote. We protested saying we want to be Americans. We did not protest burning the American flag. We did not protest raising some African nation's flag. That shit didn't come to like the 70s. And even then, it was a small group. But the point is, how do you expect Americans to rally behind you when you burn the flag Americans love? It's not going to happen. So they're going to continue to round you guys up. And it is what it is. And we are not going to come in and save you guys. We're not. The liberal black doesn't want to admit it, but white people have really been our only ally. Seriously. From slavery on up. Quick little history lesson for everybody. You might want to clip this one, Mitch. I know we only get a minute. I saw the protesters in Minnesota were trying to recruit the Black Panthers, and they were like, no, we don't fight for your cause. Exactly. And it's not our fight. And like I was saying before, let me give you guys the history lesson, because they try and say it's black and brown. No, it maybe at one point, but that stuff's been gone a long time. White people are black people's longest ally. When slavery was going on, it was white Puritan pastors and Quakers that were teaching the slaves the real gospel and teaching them how to read. Now, sometimes there were other instances where it was like the daughter of, the plantation owner who would, feel bad and teach them how to read and stuff. But usually it was white pastors that did that. And Underground Railroad, I know, unfortunately, our school system has just gone full-blown stupid, and they're not teaching true history. Underground Railroad was not some subway system. It wasn't an underground tunnel system. Okay? It was a series of safe houses and farmhouses that slaves hid in on the path to the north. Go through the woods, through the wilderness, get to this safe house, stay there. This is the way to the next one. This is how you go. This is the times you move. Get there. Now, who do you think owned these homes and farmhouses? Black people. It's slavery time, remember? So, who could have owned the homes and the buildings in America that the Underground Railroad consisted of? White people. White people. Without white people, there is no Underground Railroad. The Union Army was all black too. Stop being stupid. Exactly. It's not taught. It's not taught. Yeah, people that think just like white people started showing up to Africa and just started rounding up people, and that's how the transatlantic slave trade, like it wasn't Arabs. It was the Jews. No. Come on, guys. It was more Muslims involved in that than anything. Ridiculous. You ever wonder why blacks can have Arab names? Anyway, that's a little history lesson for you guys. Let's get back to some of this news. Like it's just as I scroll, it just gets more and more insane. And then we have, I don't even know. I get to see. I don't know. This guy kind of looks black, but I feel like he's cosplaying. I don't know. I feel like he's like some type of like North, like just some weird like North African. I don't know. He's got that. It's. I don't know what it is with him. But another idiot on CNN. I guess this guy's a lawyer. Get a load of this.
Would you advise someone, even if they're very angry, even if they don't like the laws, to insert themselves into the middle of an active law enforcement situation?
If they see something wrong, absolutely.
You would advise a person or
This is a lawyer, by the way. Homeboy in the little salmon suit here. Scott Jennings, wear a tie. I cannot stand suits with no ties. Or watches on the right hand. You better be left-handed. Watches on the left hand, people. If you're right-handed, left hand. Anyway, so we have a lawyer saying he would advise people to get in the middle of law enforcement doing what they're doing if they feel they're doing something wrong. Do not hire this buffoon. Do not. Let's continue.
a client of yours to literally engage in the middle of an active law enforcement matter?
If they see something wrong, I would say yes. I would say definitely
That's a crime.
I would say put your.
We have an idiot lawyer here who got on national television. National television. And I hate CNN because I don't think he's black. I think there's something else going on here. He's got the European upper lip. There's something else going on here. But they always get people that look like me to get on here and just say some of the dumbest stuff imaginable. This is a lawyer literally saying he would advise his client to commit a crime on national television. Just in case you didn't catch it, let's run it back 10 seconds.
Client of yours to literally engage in the middle of an active law enforcement matter?
If they see something wrong, I would say yes. I would say definitely
That's a crime.
I would say put your.
It is a crime to interfere with law enforcement. You're advising people to commit crimes?
What I'm advising
Do you
people,
consider filming with a phone a crime?
Holding a
Guys,
camera,
just one
holding
at
a
a time.
camera does not absolve you from the law.
just to be extremely clear, because I know how these things get clipped and shipped around on Twitter. What I'm actually telling
you're
you,
getting
Scott, is
clipped,
if my
bro.
client came to me and said, Bakari, I was outside and I saw something going down and I saw somebody being abused and I went and tried to put myself in between them, or I raised the camera, do not hit officers. Do not spit on officers. But yes, by all means, if you see something wrong, videotape it. I mean, I can't sit here. My dad was a member of SNCC, right? He was a professional disruptor.
Holding a camera,
Like, what do you want me to
holding a
say?
camera is different than inserting yourself or inserting your vehicle into.
Exactly. So I don't know if these idiots are literally if they're following a script on CNN. I don't know if they're literally following a script or if they're just really this stupid. But I think he immediately realized by following the script, because most liberals are extremely stupid, by following the script, he just said something extremely stupid. So then he backpedaled and been like, oh yeah, pull out the camera, pull out your phone and videotape. That is not inserting yourself. So now he's trying to walk it back. But I don't get why I don't know how tinted the lights are on CNN sets. I don't know what it is that get these people to get and the chairs don't even look comfortable, to just get in these chairs, sit at this plexiglass table and just say just the dumbest things that you can imagine. It's incredible.
Hold on. I mean, I think, but
Right, he was a professional disruptor.
Holding a camera,
Like, what do you want me to
holding a
say?
camera is different than inserting yourself or inserting your
let me
vehicle
ask
into
you-
the middle
hold
of a law
on. I mean, I think,
enforcement.
but
Preddy was walking
Scott,
backwards.
what was Alex Preddy doing in the moment that he was assaulted
What
by
was Keith Porter
ICE
doing?
officers?
He was engaging
What was he
with law
doing?
enforcement
He wasn't.
officers.
He
He
was
was
looking backwards.
within.
And then, we can't have how many seconds is? All right. I'm surprised it took Abby this long to say something stupid, but I know she was letting the guy talk. But like as soon as she opened her mouth, as soon as she did it, something stupid. Alex Peretti. Yeah, he was just minding his own business, videotaping stuff, right? He didn't actually get in there armed and physically insert himself into the situation. Abby's so stupid. It really hurts my heart. It really does, because she gets up there, she's so smug. She really sits up there with the confidence of, like, I know exactly what I'm talking about and you don't. And it is just some of the dumbest things I've ever heard a black woman say. It's incredible.
Inches of it.
No, what was Alex Putty doing in the moment that he was assaulted
What
by
was Keith Porter
ICE
doing?
officers?
He was engaging
What was
with
he
law
doing?
enforcement
He wasn't.
officers.
He was
He was
moving backwards. He was
within
protecting
inches of
our
them.
woman.
No, he wasn't.
Yes,
Law
What was he
enforcement.
He was moving backwards. He was protecting a woman. He literally, do you see? Lies. Absolute and total lies. CNN is something else, man.
There was
What
a
was he?
scrum.
Hold on.
Abby.
What was he doing? What exactly was
He
he
was
doing?
engaging in the middle
Do you
of a law
remember that he
enforcement
was
situation.
recording?
That doesn't
And
absolve
do you
you
hold
of,
on?
that doesn't absolve you of
No,
anything.
I'm
Holding a camera and a phone
talking.
does
Hold
not
on a
erase
second.
federal
I'm talking
laws.
frame by frame. He stepped to help the woman who was on the ground. He stood up. They pepper sprayed him. He put his hands up because he had just been pepper sprayed, and then they tackled him.
Can I ask a better
So what
question?
did he do?
No. Can I ask just one
How
question?
did he
of you, Scott?
insert himself?
You asked a great question to me. Let me ask you a question. All of those things that you said are a crime. Which one of those things that you enumerated is a death penalty crime punished by death?
Well,
That can require you to be gunned down in the street. Which one of those things?
nothing requires you to be gunned down in the street, Bakari. My
That's what we're
only
talking about.
point is that you have ordinary people who are being trained or instructed to go into the middle of active law enforcement
That's not what
zones,
happened.
and that
You
is
keep saying that's
extremely
not what
unfair.
happened.
Now they're acting like they threw some woman down and all he was doing was just picking a woman up, and then they just tackled him. It's total nonsense. Notice how they forget the part about how just days before he was getting in their faces, spitting on them, kicking their vehicles, literally assaulting them. Just days prior to that. This isn't somebody who just showed up at random and was like, "Oh my gosh, what's going on here?" and they just started shooting. The lies of this network. It's bro, it's almost demonic at this point. It's almost just full-blown satanic the way they just get up here and lie. Lie, lie, lie. The left is satanic. They are satanic. You cannot, I'm sorry. And I'm not saying everybody on the right is just some Bible thumping Christian. I'm sure there's some sleeper cells, some secret agents on the right. I'm sure of it. I'm not going to sit here and be, that's why I rep conservatism. I'm a conservative. I vote whoever aligns with my conservative views, which are Christian views. If tomorrow the Democrats just did a full 180 and they were more conservative than the Republicans, I'm voting Democrat. That's how I lean. But unfortunately, the Democrats, the left, are just completely and full-blown satanic. This whole network, it's just lie after lie. Although recently they did just give Trump some props on the GDP, on the economy. They did, and I think I had a clip of that, but they did actually, like, shockingly have to give the man some props. I think it was either today or yesterday. I'll look it up, but it's getting to the point where at least even some things they can't lie about. But I mean, 99, with CNN, they tell the truth. It's kind of like the phrase, the dead clock is right twice a day. That's like CNN. Like, they might tell the truth twice a day. For youngins that don't really get that because everything's digital now. If an analog clock, with the 3 hands, the ticker and the minute hand, the hour hand, if that dies and it dies at 2:12, it's going to be right at 2:12 in the afternoon, And at 2:12 in the morning, that's when it'll tell the right time. So it'll be right twice a day. Even a dead clock. That's kind of like CNN. They might tell the truth twice a day.
That with zero
extremely
evidence, you
unwise.
keep wanting to
It's
paint
not
them
unwise.
as trained
They
agitators.
really
without,
are. And I know you don't believe it, but they are
people have to
absolutely
get
I think
trained.
there's
involved.
plenty
You know
of
what
people in this
Wait a second.
country who are willing to be outraged
But it
and
doesn't
protest
matter because
against
if you
Donald
go,
Trump.
if you insert
for
your
free.
body and yourself into the middle
Being
of
in
a
the middle
law
of the
enforcement
street,
situation,
filming an
it's
abuse
dangerous.
is
You know what
not
I'd say?
inserting
All right, we really
yourself
have to
into
go,
a-
guys.
Well,
We are
it's 10 feet
way
away.
past our
Right on
time
top
here.
of it.
We do have to
He's
move
the
on.
one-
Yeah, he was 10 feet away from them. Just that's dude. And you know what, NFL? And you know what? This is another thing, Mitch. The word must be spread. If you're boycotting the halftime show, change the channel, turn the TV off. Don't just leave the TV on and walk away. Do not give them the viewership. Change the channel. Put it on Discovery. Put it on some true crime. Change the channel. We need the NFL to understand that we are sick and tired of this woke nonsense. For sure, I have, but make sure your people in the house, man. Make sure your dad. Make sure everyone, like, do not give them the view rating. Change the channel. They have to feel it. He's gonna get up and look. There's a time and place for every kind of performance. A man in a dress rapping in a language that's not the main language of the country of the sport. That is not what we want as a Super Bowl halftime show. I don't even think we've gotten Metallica yet. And you're freaking and a grown man in a dress rapping in Spanish and in Puerto Rican Spanish at that. Like, what are we doing? Why not have some K-pop stars out there singing in full-blown Korean? Like, what are we doing? This is completely political, completely from the left, as a middle finger to immigrations and custom enforcement. And I'm good. But don't leave it up to chance. Tell him, change the channel. Change the channel. Turn the TV off or change the channel, or they will not learn. It's bad enough that this is probably the most boring Super Bowl we've had in the last 20 years. This is such a lame Super Bowl. And the fact that Sean McVay has not been fired, and this is a political stream, it's crazy we've got onto this, but the fact that Sean McVay has not been fired for ruining the Super Bowl. No. Listen. The only way they will say that is if we do not turn the TVs off. This has to be such a major, like, because the networks will say it. The networks will come out and say the viewership was so low nationwide. Like nationwide, like a million, just only the illegals tuned in. So out of like a country of like 300 and almost 40 million people, imagine if only like 2 million nation. Did I get it? I fucking missed it. Imagine if like 2 million nationwide watched it. Like a million people nationwide watched it. Like they will never do something stupid like this again. Never. The one, damn it, freaking aim is off. The one thing billionaires don't play about is their bottom line. The one thing network execs aren't going to play about is their bottom line. Roger Goodell, the NFL, Nope. That's how you stop this crap. You hit them in their pockets. That's how you stop it. That's how you stop it. There's like, dude, what, like 7 or 8 Spanish-speaking players in the NFL? Like, let me. How many Spanish-speaking players are there in the NFL? 47. 47 players. 47 players out of all the teams in the NFL. 47. And that's what you base your halftime show on. That's who you cater to. There's 32 teams in the NFL. There's 47. That's crazy. It's crazy. Roger Goodell's like, oh, he won't get political. It's like, you're so stupid, dude. Part of the reason why the NFL has been unwatchable. Freaking Roger Goodell. Unreal. These liberals are just, I mean, it's something else. Oh, check this out. Looks like, wait, where is this? Looks like they're, I don't know if this is a false flag or not, but biological lab in Las Vegas, where they're trying to play mad scientist and freaking, check this out. This is insane.
Vials of unknown liquids and probing a potential link to a Chinese national. New at 2, we're half past the hour, a possible biological lab inside a Las Vegas home, now under investigation.
This is a couple hours ago.
Federal investigation.
2 hours ago.
Agents seizing vials of unknown liquids and probing a potential link to a Chinese national accused of running a similar lab in California that held deadly pathogens. Our senior national correspondent William Lajeunesse is reporting live on this out of Los Angeles for us. Hello, William.
Well, Sandra, 2 amazing things about this story. One, the man who owns that Vegas lab, he's a Chinese scientist linked to the CCP, is and has been in jail the last 3 years. Secondly, the lab is not an FDA licensed facility, but it's in a house in Vegas, raided Saturday morning by the FBI, SWAT pulling out boxes of what police believe are hazardous biological agents and pathogens, normally found in a secure university or industrial lab with airlocks designed to prevent an outbreak.
Almost immediately, investigators observed multiple refrigerators, a freezer, and other laboratory-type equipment, along with numerous bottles and jugs containing unknown liquid substances.
So the Vegas lab, according to police, belongs to 62-year-old Zhu Baizhu, a Chinese national and a fugitive who also goes by the alias David He. He was arrested in 2023 for manufacturing unlicensed medical devices and lying about unapproved HIV and pregnancy test kits that he was selling. He also operated this illicit biolab in an abandoned warehouse in Reedley, California, where investigators found thousands of vials of blood and tissue, 1,000 genetically engineered.
That's freaking insane. I'm glad they got him. I'm glad they got him. I'm glad they got him. We got more of that exchange with Biden and that CNN panelist with the very powerful cheekbones and jawline. What's her name? Ashley Allison, I believe. Ashley Allison. lover of abortions, I believe a Hispanic activist. Just CNN's, new clown. New clown. That profile, though, strong. It's unfortunate. All right, check this one out.
So there are already some federal requirements on states to try to engage in some best practices.
Right.
For what purpose? To give people confidence that the election is running fairly. Now, at the beginning, we talked a little bit about, people believing that elections have been stolen. It's not just 2020. A majority of Democrats in this country think the 2016 election was stolen, and I suspect a great many Democrats still think 2004 and 2000 were stolen as well. So this is a problem that has plagued both parties, the idea that they don't believe the outcome of elections. And the way we...
I'd like to clarify that point, though, as I just want to say, there were people in 2004.
And he's absolutely right. They want to sit here and, criticize Trump for saying that the 2020 elections were stolen when it absolutely was. When, for his first presidency, you guys swore up and down that Russia stole the election for him. And then let's go back to the Bush-Gore back and forth. So it's like, they always pull this crap.
That thought voter suppression tactics were taking place in this state, which could still be a true statement. But what never happened after 2004 was an insurrection at the Capitol. In 2016, there was proof that there were external foreign agitators that were targeting certain types of... No. What I am saying and what Donald Trump said is not very different.
That's the...
And I've said that too, Mitch. Very good point. They keep forgetting if they just let Trump win and not Biden, Trump would already be out and gone now. And they got 3 more years of him. And that's what I'm saying. I was like, you guys stole the election and you just stalled it. Like, he'd be gone by now. He would have did his 8 and it'd be over. Thank God they didn't. I mean, the Russia war probably wouldn't have happened. I mean, things are probably, I don't think it would have taken them long to dismantle everything. But we'd be getting dismantled right now. Literally on a fast track to hell. So, by the grace of God, it went the way it did. Because could you imagine? I mean, yeah, we would have been winning. We'd all, who knows, but they put a fire in him to really get stuff done because they stole it from him in 2020. So, hammer's dropping. But let's continue. I actually want to kind of run that back because it's just funny how she just completely set herself
So there
up.
are already some federal requirements on states to try to engage in some best practices.
Right.
For what purpose? To give people confidence that the election is running fairly. Now, at the beginning, we talked a little bit about, people believing that elections have been stolen. It's not just 2020. A majority of Democrats in this country think the 2016 election was stolen, and I suspect a great many Democrats still think 2004 and 2000 were stolen as well. So this is a problem that has plagued both parties, the idea that they don't believe the outcome of elections. And the way we...
I'd like to clarify that point, though, as I just want to say, there were people in 2004 that thought...
Now watch how he's like, they don't believe the outcome of elections, and watch what she does.
Voter suppression tactics were taking place in this state, which could still be a true statement, but what never happened after 2004 was an insurrection at the Capitol. In 2016, there was proof that there were external foreign agitators that were targeting certain types of... No. What I am saying and what Donald Trump said is not very different.
That's the bipartisan conclusion of the a congressional investigation.
My political analysis is that a majority of Democrats think the 2016 election was stolen.
What Ashley just said.
Poll after poll
It's a
after
majority
poll.
of Democrats? I've never heard
Dan,
that. Really?
if you walked into a Democrat
Well, no, but I'm asking
political
on the
dinner
polls.
tonight
I'm
and
asking-
said
I walk into-
Russia did not steal the election. You'd be thrown out.
Can I be
I
clear?
think
I
it
walk
is
into-
actually
I walk-
a good question
No.
where those numbers come from.
As a
Yes.
reliable source here, I walk into Democratic dinners every night, and just let me tell you, we're not talking about whether the
No,
2016
but if you
election.
polled it,
and
be
hold on,
honest.
hold
If
on a
you polled
second.
it, if you polled it.
Be
Again,
honest. He asked the
come on,
Democrat to be
I think it's
honest.
really
to phrase the question differently.
Scott,
Because how many Democratic dinners have you been at lately, Scott?
I look at a lot of polls. I'm just telling you, Democrats believe the 2016 election was stolen by Russia.
No, my
And
friend.
in 2000 and 2004,
let's not
Democrats on the
distract from
floor of the
the
House
moment
tried to
now.
stop the
We're headed
electoral
into
college.
Yep. See how they lie? You see how they lie? All they can do is lie. And it's like they get on there before the cameras come on CNN. It's like all those people know, yeah, her forehead was next level. It's like, but they just lie. She's gonna sit there and try and say that Democrats don't believe Russia was involved in Trump winning in 2016. When everything was Russia. That's like the way, the degree in which they lie and just the consistency of the lies. Oh, and by the way, I was wrong about strong cheekbones. That's Deja Fox. Deja Fox. She doesn't look like a Deja Fox, but I believe that is her name, Deja Fox.
Yeah, and you know, when I think about some of what he said there, he talks about himself getting into heaven,
Deja
maybe,
Fox.
yes, no. And this is a man who has.
Yeah, Deja Fox. Yep. I thought she was someone else. I thought her name was something else, but yeah, that's Deja Fox. Absolute no one. Former U.S. congressional candidate. So she ran for Congress in Arizona as a Democrat and lost. Thank God. Yeah, really. Dumb box. You know, they want to pull at your heartstrings so bad over this illegal stuff, and I'm just not going for it. Okay? You'll never get me to turn my back on those who did it the right way. Never. Here's another fun point too. This woman said, she's like, you know, notice that the nations that they come from don't even want them back. It's like if they're so great, you know. Check this out. This is a pretty good exchange. And you know, you go on X and you know, everybody's trying to paint this woman like she just doesn't know what she's talking about, and she just has all these L takes, and it's like she just freaking cooks you guys, and you just.
That being said, I think what
Watch
a
this.
lot of conservatives and MAGA people believe is America is not merely an economic opportunity zone. Even if all immigrants, if we
That's
brought
right.
8 billion people to America tomorrow and they boosted our GDP, we're still not taking into account what happens to culture, society, overpopulation, things like that. And if illegal aliens or legal immigrants, however Cato wants to put these together, is like a cash cow, then you would see plenty of other countries around the world saying, come here, but they're not. So to pretend like illegal aliens,
Right.
first and foremost.
They're not.
So why isn't any other country taking all of our illegal aliens?
I mean,
They
Canada
don't even,
is actually
even their
taking more
native countries
immigrants.
don't want them back.
Can I just make one simple point about
I'm
this?
surprised we had
Can
aliens.
I just say very quickly?
Let me just say, we're gonna.
Yeah, now we have this idiot lawyer. God, I hate CNN. Oh, I didn't know we had aliens. Like, bro, you know that's the freaking legal term. Like, I'm sick of this leftist, like, let's play imaginary. Like, it's so ridiculous. Dude, I'm so like, CNN is the worst, man. The worst. I think that's one of the people from The View wearing the Bad Bunny sweater. These women, man. Just it's so ridiculous, dude. It is so ridiculous. All of them. Smug as all get out, man. Now look at this one. Here's one. And remember, these are social justice warriors. Social justice warriors, these people. Check this out. I wonder if I can I make this any bigger? No. Check this out. These are liberals, by the way, people. Look at her kicking his phone. Now, if he freaking wails on her. Women. Look at this woman. Look at this idiot of a woman. All freaking 4'9" of her. What do you really think you're going to do? It's so stupid. It's so kicking the phone away from the guy. Like, what are you doing? With your Coke bottle glasses on, take your stupid ass home. Look at all these idiot Minnesotans out there. They're probably all from Portland. They're probably all borderline homeless or just days away from homelessness from like Portland, Oregon, doing this crap. How stupid are you?
What? Look at me. Look at, oh, good job, dude. Real too, then you're brown. You're not white, you're brown. You know that, right? You look in the mirror, see a white person? Fuck you. You're brown. Fuck you.
Look at that. You're brown. You can't be out here doing that. You're brown. It's just supposed to be Nazis. You're brown. You when you look at these white people. Blah, 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 blah. And we got freaking Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Look at her with the flare. Look at this idiot. God, you people are stupid. Go back to Portland. Get the hell out of here. Go back to your freaking... Remember that little Portland zone where everybody was getting graped and freaking crime and murder is out of control? Remember the police-free zone? Remember that shit in Portland? I mean, look at what's going on in New York. I saw a clip, was mounds of trash. The buyer's remorse for Mom Donnie is already in. We're just first week of February, and people are like, my God, what have we done? First week of February, and they're already like, what have we done? You guys really think that there's some way you can make communism work? I warned you. I told you all what was coming. Like the rich would just, like the wealthy would just stay so he could tax them into poverty. So that the ones in the poverty line can just have some, free money. No. Bunch of crooks. Just like this woman right here, Ayanna Presley. Hammer's about to drop on her stupid self too. Oh, wait, hang on. Let me turn off this dryer. Hammer's dropping on Presley too. It's like, you guys can't even be honest. Like, how do you go from broke, just full blown broke? You get into Congress, you're getting a decent salary. You're getting a decent salary. At what point? It's like, now you got to rip off the taxpayers to get millions of dollars. Yeah.
Did you make all this income from the rental property?
Sir, I submit a financial disclosure, just like everybody else. There's nothing to see here. Thank you.
Is it appropriate for members to make so much money when they're in office? Should there be rules there? Financial disclosure reports show that the wealth of Presley and her husband Conan Harris swelled from $12,000 in 2019 to as much as $8 million. 5 rental properties earn them up to $350,000 annually. Presley once advocated to suspend rent during the pandemic. She pushed policies for struggling homeowners.
These little to no cost bills.
You know what's funny? is these Democrats, primarily the black women who seem to be getting caught up in all this fraud, just being easily manipulated and falling for this nonsense. If you want to sit here and just white people are racist, and all this and other stuff, which I'm sure is rhetoric that she's pushed, why are you going to be committing a bunch of crimes around them? Like, I don't like. I'm sure she's not the only one doing it. I'm sure all Democrats are doing it, and I'm sure the white ones are doing it at a grander scale than she is. I mean, look at Nancy Pelosi. But when it comes time for heads to get chopped, they're going for this. They're going for the low-hanging fruit, which is you. You're the sacrificial lamb. You could have stayed on the straight and narrow, but no, you wanna have your net worth go from 12,000 to 8 million. You have all these rental properties, one in Martha's Vineyard that's getting you 350,000 annually from rent. Crap, like it's just exactly. Nancy, no, it's all the hammers all coming, and these and people like her are too stupid to see it, and now the hammer's dropping.
Help people remain housed.
Presley's husband is an ex-con who went from serving a decade in jail before they were married for drug trafficking to raking in up to $1 million a year as a business and management consultant.
There are many times where
and she marries an ex-con who just did a fucking decade in the feds for drug trafficking. It's just so stupid.
you can see that the spouse is the person who may be bringing in the most income.
Some lawmakers resist restrictions on outside earnings. Do you think that there should be changes, some different rules about what members can make while they're in office?
These are presumably right-wing reports designed to try to undermine our members, and there's nothing credible that has been suggested that I've seen.
But other members worry about their colleagues cashing in on
Cory Booker, one of the biggest liars you'll ever come across in your life.
On congressional service.
The idea that people's net worth balloons at that level is yet another erosion of public trust.
There was one of the first aphorisms I learned is politics is the art of turning influence into affluence.
Now, the money also followed Presley's fellow squad member Ilhan Omar to Congress. A House committee is probing how assets belonging to Omar's husband grew into the millions. Brett?
Chad Burgum, live on Capitol Hill. Chad, thanks.
Yep. Freaking AOC from bartender to multimillionaire. Yep. Off of a 6-figure salary. Yep, that's how that goes. Because most people that are making, 6 figures, 120,000 a year, yeah, they all just magically turn into multimillionaires. You're like, dude, bunch of crooks. Bunch of crooks. That's why hammers dropping. You want to storm churches? Hammers are dropping now. Love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. All righty, gang. I have some other stuff. Karen Bass is kind of panicking because it's come out that she falsified reports on the Palisades fire to kind of make it, seem not as bad as it is. So she's panicking, and hammers dropping on her too. So hopefully LA, I know there's this actor that's running. I think Riz Caruso might take another shot at it, but I know there's an actor running for mayor of LA. You guys better elect him. You gotta get these Democrats out of California. The Democrats are they're destroying this state, and we can't let them do it anymore. Can't let them do it anymore. I don't really have much else for us. I got some, more stuff on the border, or not the border, or Minnesota. I mean, we all know what's going on. A bunch of idiot, unemployed leftists paid by Soros, just agitating, mixing stuff up. And Israel calling for the Super Bowl. I'm saying I think the Seahawks will get it too. I want the Patriots to get it just because I hate the team that knocked my team out of the playoffs winning. I know some people like to say, well, I'd rather say I lost to the champs. No, I want the people that beat us to feel the same way, but worse. So, which ultimately really would have been Sean McVay being fired, but the Rams just will not fire this buffoon. And he just keeps on ruining, they keep finding ways to win despite his pitiful play calling. And I really hate it. Sometimes I just wish that they would just lose so he can just be gone. I was hoping they would have lost early on when the Ravens fired Harbaugh. So I was hoping the Rams would lose and they'd hurry up and fire McVay and pick him up. But he ended up going to the Giants, I think. God, I can't. Just Sean McVay. But yeah, I think the Seahawks will take it too. I'm off Sunday. I may call out Saturday. I think I'm gonna call out Saturday just because it's like fuck it, why not? But we'll see. I think I am gonna do that. Enjoy my 3-day weekend. Yeah. Then maybe if I do, maybe we'll go live Saturday. We'll see. All right, Mitch, man. Have a good rest of your day at work. I'm going to unwind and get some sleep. I got to do a bunch of stuff in the morning too, but I wanted to make sure I went live. So on YouTube, make sure you hit the like button, leave a comment, and let's just keep on working on blowing this thing up, and I will see you guys soon. Love you. Believe in the gospel of Jesus Christ, and you will be saved.